Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name's Marina, I'm a certified lash tech based in Toronto, Canada, and I like making lashing videos. Before I start all my videos, I do like to just say that all the tips and tricks that I'm sharing with all of you guys is just what I like to do and is not the only way to do lash extensions. I'm just trying to provide an avenue of learning for you guys, so I encourage everyone to continue to do research and read different articles and consume different content, because everybody could learn from somebody else, and things that work for me might not work for you. So just keep that in mind when watching any of my videos. So today I am going to be focusing on the cat eye look, and also when it comes to that nice cat eye flick at the end of these sets. And for the longest time I really wanted to achieve this flick. I just didn't know the techniques and how to do it. I would see so many pictures on Instagram and I'm like, oh my god, how do you get that nice flick? Because the flick at the end of the eye really gives that cat eye feel. It does remind me a lot of eyeliner, and my clients absolutely love the little flick at the end because I think that's what makes a cat eye. That's what creates that nice visual effect of the cat eye. But before I get into the flick, I just want to point out that I decided to film this time my taping method. So if you saw in the very beginning, I did use tape to pull the inner corners out so that it's easier to lash those little bit of lashes that are inside of the eye, because those lashes are always a little bit harder to get. So using that taping method will always kind of help you. It also pulls the lashes apart a little bit, so it's actually a lot more easy to isolate as well. So if you guys want a clean application, I definitely recommend doing that. And then at the ends of her eyes, like the outer corners, it's more just of a lift rather than a pull inwards, because those lashes are usually easier for me, in my own opinion, to lash. So all I needed to do was lift it up a bit. And the reason that I used the taping method is because this client's eyelashes are a little bit on the flat side, so they face downwards, meaning that it's a little bit hard to apply that lash extension, because sometimes if the adhesive isn't going to dry fast enough, it'll stick to the under eye pad and then you're going to get some issues with pulling afterwards. So this is why I use the taping method, to kind of just give that nice lift, and the application is so much easier when I do that. And so going into the tips about the cat eye flick. So like always with any of my sets, I start off with 2 millimeters going down at the very outer corners. So the longest length I used here is 14. And that's a 14 double D curl at the very end, and then throughout the eye is D curl. And the reason, because I had a comment about this, the reason I do double D on the outer corner is because I like to create a nice lifted look. And when you just think about it, if you're going up a curl near the end of the eye, you're gonna really see the dramatic difference between the D and the double D, and it creates that really nice kind of gradual lifted flick at the very end. But the reason that I go 2 millimeters down when I'm doing a cat eye set is because when there's fallout, when, I don't know, come maybe the first week or a week and a half, you start to really notice the fallout of the lashes. If the larger lashes at the end of the eye fall out before the smaller size at the very outer corner, then the eyes won't look as droopy. Because what happens is, if you apply very long lashes at the very outer corner, what tends to happen is it brings the entire eye downwards, and thus giving a very puppy dog droopy eye. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some clients that actually like the droopy puppy dog eye. However, I find that when clients are asking for a cat eye set, most of the time they're looking for something lifted, something that can mimic eyeliner in a way. So this is why I do the techniques that I do. But like I said before in the beginning of my video, people are different, people lash differently. This is just the method that I was taught when I took my lashing course, but also a technique that I think is super important to really open up the eye and give a really flattering look to the entire face. It's kind of like giving a facelift, but using the eyes, because it can really change someone's look. And so when I go 2 millimeters down on the outer corner, recently I found that if I skip a millimeter between the longest and the second longest, so for example, I went 10 to 14, but I actually left out majority of the 13 millimeters. Now, that's not saying that I didn't use any 13 millimeters, but what I did was I only applied about 3 13 millimeter lashes, and then majority of the lashes coming after that, going into the center of the eye, was 12 millimeters. So it goes inner corner 10, 11, and then mostly 12, then maybe 3 or 4 13 millimeter lashes, and then flick it up all the way to 14. Because you can see the drastic size difference between the 12 and the 14, the flick at the very end becomes a lot more prominent. And with that flick, you can get that really nice cat eye effect that I was talking about earlier. And sometimes, depending on the client's eye shape, I actually might even leave the 13 millimeter completely out, because sometimes it gives even a more drastic pull upwards. And honestly, keep experimenting, because I think I might even one day try to skip 2 different sizes. So I might start at 11 and then flick up to 14 just to see how dramatic that flick can be. But if you really want that nice curl at the end, I find that this technique has really helped me and really gives that nice lifted look that I was talking about. And because this is a hybrid set, I'm using 0.15 classic lashes as well, and I'm following the same type of mapping style. One of the tips I might try to implement when I'm doing this is to always do the longest length at the highest point of the eyebrow, thus giving a very nice look that doesn't pull the eye down. Also, you can see that I did move my eye tape, and I do that a lot because sometimes, like I said with this client, her lashes are facing downwards. So what you want to do is use that tape and move them around and go into the center of the eye now and lift those lashes up. Now guys, remember that tape can be kind of irritating to certain clients if they have sensitive skin. So make sure to really remove the tackiness before applying the tape to her skin, because I've had some people get like not really severe allergic reactions, but you know, some type of reaction just because the adhesive on the eye can give them a kind of like a burn. So just be very cautious of that, because you don't want to irritate your client's eye, right? Like that's like the last thing you want to do. So yeah, that's my tip for this week's video. Just to get that really nice dramatic cat eye effect. This is what has worked for me. And this actually took me to experiment, because I actually didn't learn this from anybody. I just tried it on one of my clients one day and it worked, and I was technically like, I was just like over the moon. I'm like, I'm so happy it turned out this way, because if it didn't, it would have been a disaster. So obviously, like I always say, lashing is a journey. If you guys want to experiment with different like techniques like that, I kind of recommend, you know, asking a client that you're familiar with, or even like a friend or even a family member, just to practice, so that you can kind of see what works and what may not work. And yeah, so that's basically it. Stay tuned for the end of this video. I show the full finished set. This video isn't gonna be showing me completing the entire set. It just will skip to the very end, and that's just because I actually had my camera die on me, so I'm not gonna make excuses. That's just technically what happened. Anyway guys, so I post every Sunday around 6:15. I appreciate everyone's support and comments. I'm trying to give as much detail as I can when I comment back. Sometimes if I miss your comment, I'm so sorry, or if I respond really late, it's just because sometimes I'm like hopping through different videos, I guess, because some people comment on my older videos, so then it gets kind of lost. But I'm trying my best to keep up, so please keep commenting. Let me know if there's anything that I can help you guys with, or things that may have worked for me. And if you have any questions or want me to make a video on a specific topic, please let me know, and I will definitely do my best to try and accommodate what you guys want to see. So thank you guys so much for your ongoing support. If you are new here, it would mean the world to me if you could subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, I appreciate your support, and I would love it if you guys would hit that like button, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, how it doesn't make sense what you put me through. But one thing I